Welcome to Los Angeles Distillery. My name is Lewis. I'm the owner. I'm going to be your tour guide today.
Lewis, I'm here to learn about you. One of the lacking things in craft is the stories of the people who make the product, the artisanship of the people behind the craft.
Sure, it's a long story.
Good, we have time.
You'll see. I'm an immigrant. Okay, I'm Hungarian.
Okay.
I've been here for more than 40 years. I was 10 years old when I distilled first time. First of all, I decided not to cut corners. At every step, the best of everything has to be done and used. In this row here, I have 4 stills. 2 big ones, they are 3,000 liters each. This is dedicated for gin.
Okay.
And the last one is a vodka still. You can see the tall column.
Yeah. There's something steampunk pretty about it. Yes, this is equipment that you use to work, but also it makes a good picture.
This guy is called Phil, and the other guy is called Cappy. Phil is doing the filling, Cappy is doing the capping. Okay, so I'll be ready for tasting.
I'm Allan Cogan. Join me as I highlight small businesses with interviews on site at distilleries, breweries, and more. My mission is to share the stories of the awesome people behind the craft. Welcome to Crafted Conversations.
Lewis, we're here at Los Angeles Distillery in Los Angeles, California. I really appreciate you having me here.
Alan, very nice to meet you here. Welcome to Los Angeles Distillery.
Yeah, of course. I'm so excited to be here. I've seen your product on the shelf before, actually in my current home state of North Carolina. I sadly did not purchase it. I just saw it and I thought, oh, Los Angeles. I didn't think they had a distillery. And here you guys are. And Grant, who's my producer here behind the camera, we had a trip to come out here and we thought, well, we better call Lewis and say, hey, I want to come see you.
That's a great idea. I'm glad you are here.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I do this show and why I go around talking distilleries is learning people's story. And I know you have an interesting one. And we talked a little bit off camera about that. But tell me just a quick version of where you're from and how you got into this awesome world of distilling.
It is a very long story, but just in a nutshell, I always had affinity to distill. I was 10 years old when I distilled first time, and after some pause, I returned to it later and manufactured equipment for brewing and distilling, and at some point decided to create my own distillery.
That's awesome. Now, a lot of the product you make is whiskey. I'm curious, where did that come from? Why whiskey?
Because in my younger age, my friends preferred Scotch.
Okay.
And I thought, yeah, it's okay. It tastes weird to me, but
was it peated?
No, it was not peated. But I mean, that's how it started. That I tasted some Scotch, with my friends, and in a wine country. Okay, it was different. And especially because spirit-wise, people drink more cognac type spirits. But then, whiskey was coming up. So I thought, well, Scotch sounds good, interesting, and well, let's try it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, one of the things that's interesting too is that you have a couple single malts, which I'm excited to try, and as well as bourbon. But the new category of single malt now is officially recognized, and that's got to be pretty awesome for you because you've been making a single malt, and now you can actually fall under that designation.
Right. Yeah, we've been making single malt whiskey from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the same way the Scots are doing it, but in new barrels. And Yeah, we have the oldest is 10 years old.
Wow. That's kind of unique. There's not many American single malts that are that old.
No, not many.
Tell me, when we were talking downstairs and in front of this beautiful setup you have, I could tell how enthusiastic you were about making this product and making a good product. Tell me about the pride behind that, of having that tender, loving care and making a good product for consumers to enjoy.
Well, I think the most important thing is if you are looking at the process, the entire process, we don't cut corners. That's number one thing, no matter which area we are looking at. If we are looking at the barrels or the ingredients or the method of mashing, fermentation science, how to distill, all those things have their own intricacies, and at every point one can mess it up.
Yeah, right.
So one has to be careful and pay attention to every step, and make sure that at the end of the day, you get something in the bottle that is more than drinkable.
More than drinkable is good way to put it. Do you find yourself having fun experimenting and doing new things rather than having to stay just kind of in one lane? Because you have a lot of different varieties of products, and I'm curious. I mean, do you have room or time to just have fun?
Well, yeah, we are doing it differently than most everybody because in my opinion, it's one thing to join the crowd and excel within the crowd.
Sure.
The other thing is to create something that is different than what the crowd is doing.
Right.
Okay, and still, keeping traditions, but also concentrate on innovations at the same time. And the bottom line is to arrive to better flavors, better tasting products. And we do have many different products depending on not just the whiskey type, not only the grain bills, if I may, but also how they are aged, the time, the type of barrel, because as I usually say, the barrel is the most important thing in the flavor.
Sure.
And we have to concentrate on that. So it makes a difference, what kind of barrels we are using. And when you make decisions about the different barrel types or barrel qualities, then we are going to arrive to different product.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, one can always blend the whole thing together. Then you lose the specialties. So you have two possibilities. You have that, or you can go, one by one, different flavors, different types of bourbons or single malts, and go with that.
Yeah, I love that, and I think it's fun to see, the ability of craft distillers, especially because you are your own boss. You can kind of decide what to do. Is there anything that you're an R&D and you're trying to? There's something that you want to do that you haven't been able to do yet?
Not that I can think of right now.
I'll come up with a couple ideas.
Okay.
And then I want royalties. No. Well, one of the things that caught my eye when I first was looking on your website and figuring out, if I could make it work while we were out here to talk to you, was that you have a very unique bourbon, which is a 51% corn, 49% malted barley. I can't think of another place that does that. Most places have, like 60, 30, 10 or whatever it is. And
or 80, 10, 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of those places are just using barley for the enzymes to help with fermentation. But you're really embracing that malted barley flavor in the bourbon. And I have not, we have some here. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm just curious of where that thought process came. Why that mash bill?
Well, it just gave itself, because, and it's a little bit longer story. We have 2 silos, and one will have corn, the other one malted barley for Scotch type whiskey.
Sure.
Right? Corn for bourbon for a reason. Okay. Of course, we can talk a lot about it, but the malted barley was picked as the main second grain because of the goal of making also single malt whiskey.
Gotcha. The one thing that I'm curious too is especially with craft and local and that idea of terroir, which is kind of a wine term. You're in Los Angeles. You are not plentiful with cornfields to your left and right. So I'm curious how that works, because a lot of parts of the country, a lot of farm distilleries are part of the agriculture. Whiskey is an agricultural product. So tell me about that. Where are you getting your grains from, and how important is getting good grain to make a good product?
Do you really want me to tell you what I think, or just give you a general idea?
I want you to be honest with me. And if it's not good, we'll cut it.
Okay. First of all, corn is coming from California.
Okay.
Northern California.
Sure.
Okay. It's a non-GMO corn. I really don't know why is it important, but it is non-GMO corn. And, because by the time you distill it, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So other things come also from California, some from Minnesota, barley. Talking about rye. Some of it can come from California, some from Germany. Depends on what specifically you want to do.
But you don't put too much weight into the grain.
Okay, then let's explain my theory.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. My theory is this: that 75% of the flavor comes from the wood.
Okay, of the barrel.
A barrel.
Right.
Okay. The remaining 25%, if we divide it up evenly, we can give or take, but let's say 5. 5% effect comes from the grain.
Sure. Of
Okay.
course.
And 5% from how do you mill it, how do you mash it. Mashing meaning how efficiently and effectively are using enzymes to get the most out of the grain. Mm-hmm. Another 5% fermentation science, the fermentation temperature, the type of yeast, length of time, temperature, all those things matter, okay? Then another 5%, how do you distill? How do you make the cuts? How do you do the separation? See, this is not an automated system here. It's a craft distillery, and you, as a distiller, you are crafting your product, okay? So continued after fermentation, you distill. How do you make the cuts for the heads, for the tails? How much hearts you are collecting? How much tails you add to it? What do you do with the tails after? So these are all decisions, that are important,
Right.
made by the distiller. Okay, and then another 5% would be the equipment itself. Okay, very important thing to distill in copper, because otherwise, what do you do with the sulfur compounds?
Right.
You have to get rid of that
Right. And copper does a good job of stripping that out.
to avoid headaches and hangover, excessive amount of it.
I remember college.
Me too. Okay, so these are the things to consider, and that every step we have to concentrate on one thing, to get the best out of it at every single step.
Right.
Okay, they each have their own intricacies. What is important, what is not important, and you have to decide and get the maximum qualities out of every step.
Right. I think I agree with that. I think that your theory of 75-25, where the flavor comes from, is probably accurate. And I'm really interested to know how efficient you can make something like a barrel when there's a lot of people who are trying to do something that's a lot outside of the traditional sense. There are places like Modern Cooperage, who we talked about earlier, who are doing a steel barrel with different surface areas with staves. There are people who are doing speed aging, if you can call that. There are people who are doing small barrels to have a faster product. Do you just like to play with that, or is it?
First of all, I did think about it, because I think everybody's thinking about it at the beginning. How's the cash flow going to happen?
Yeah, if you can get an 8-year-old bourbon in 2 years, it's a lot better for you.
Yes. If your 2 years old tastes exactly the same as an 8 years old, yes, then
make good money.
I have not seen one like that yet. Okay. By the way, we have a company just across the street here who is doing something like this. Some hocus pocus with the whiskey, and they apparently they are succeeding in some cases.
Okay.
They didn't succeed with mine.
Oh.
Okay, why not? Don't take it as bragging, but because there was nothing to improve. Okay, so when something is young, maybe half-year-old whiskey, it has already the color, but lacks the proper flavor, or is harsh, or has those issues, problems that a young spirit would have.
Yeah.
Then you can smoothen it. I agree with that.
Sure.
But then, is that a real whiskey or real product?
Yeah.
Maybe. The market will tell.
Sure.
Sooner or later,
Oh, yeah.
So, in my opinion, it doesn't work, not yet. I've seen a few others also, and there's a process that happens with the barrel. There's oxygen going in through the wall of the barrel. Some will come out in the shape of angel share. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's some kind of an exchange going on, and it's not only getting the raw flavor from the wood, but also there are chemical processes considering the incoming oxygen and whatever comes with it, and creating other compounds that influence the final flavor.
Right.
So I believe in that, and it's a very difficult, very complex thing to figure out for chemists, to be able to reproduce all those things, because first you have to be able to monitor what is exactly happening during those 5 years or whatever time. Okay,
Yeah, right.
inside. So
Sure, right.
how do you do that?
Wow.
So it's not simple. I mean, may sound good, may look good, and again, market will decide.
How this just made me think of it. How is the angel share in California? Because climates vary. I like Texas is they lose a lot.
I don't know how much they lose. I do have customers in Texas, my equipment customer, but here, I'll tell you exactly. In the first 3 years, I lose 18%
Wow.
angel share.
Okay.
Okay. However, one has to know that when the humidity level is relative humidity is 70%, then equal amount of alcohol and water leaves the barrel
Right.
as angel share.
Sure.
If the humidity is lower, then more water comes out of the barrel than alcohol. So that means that the proof inside the barrel will increase.
Right.
So we barrel at around 60% alcohol by volume.
Sure.
Pretty much everything, and we easily come up with 70% alcohol
Just from what it does in the barrel.
from the barrel.
Wow.
Yes, without touching it. Okay, so it's not really 18% loss.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day you replenish the water, so it will be with water.
It balances out.
Yeah. So, but this is how it works here. We don't use air conditioning here at all. After a few years, we started accumulating a whole bunch of awards, medals, 47 medals out of 48 submissions. So I thought, we could implement air conditioning, humidifier, everything. And why change?
Right. Yeah, you're already making good product.
Yeah,
Don't
No.
fix what's not broken.
exactly.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I think we need to cheers to what you're making, and I know we have a couple of things to try here. What should we pour
I agree.
first?
I think we should start with bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll let you do the honors.
Well, let's see. That's the one with barley.
So it's 51% corn, which is required for bourbon, and then the rest is malted barley,
Right.
which to me is really unique. I can't think of another distiller that does that high of malted barley with their corn. Thank you. So tell me about this.
Okay. It is, well, the label says 5 years old, but it's actually 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, as you said, 51% corn, 49% malted barley, 100 proof, bottled in bond,
Sure.
means minimum 4 years old, 100 proof,
Yep.
exactly. Definitely made in one distillery. No purchasing alcohol from anywhere. That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, Lewis. Thank you so much for having me here. This is
Thank you
awesome.
for coming.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I told you before off camera that I'm a big fan of the malted barley flavor notes of the espressos and chocolates and that malt flavor. And it just pairs so well with a corn on a bourbon that's usually a sweeter spirit. That's so unique. I love that. Keep making it.
I am.
Where are the barrels? No, I think my car is big enough. No, that's good.
That's my standard bourbon, and there are two other variants. One we substitute the barley, malted barley, with malted rye, and the other one would be corn and malted wheat. Very unique.
Yeah.
The so-called wheated bourbon is relatively new expression from Kentucky, but this is totally new because nobody would use 48% wheat in it. When it has 10%, then they say wheated. We call it high wheat.
High wheat, yeah. I think both of those, on top of this, all three are very unique. To have just two ingredients in the mash for a bourbon is pretty rare. Right.
But if you want to have a similar grain bill like 90% of the others, then you buy 3 bottles and then blend them, and you have all ingredients in it.
Just go home and do a little blending class. Yeah, no, I love that. That's so good. Man, I love that. Grant, this is where I wish we were more remote so you could be here tasting this with me, because it's so good. Yeah, here. Just. I also hope to one day to invest in some technology that the viewer at home can smell and taste with me through the computer. Awesome. What should we try next?
Okay. You mentioned that you could be interested in rye.
Yes.
Right?
Let
me see.
I think you have 100% malted rye.
That's right. I think that's
this one. Okay.
Okay. This is all rye, all malted, 100%. Also bottled in bond, 100 proof, and 6 years old.
Okay. And see, that's unique for like 100% malted rye. You don't see that too often. There's a few out there, but
yeah, very few.
Yeah. I'll let you have this one. Yeah.
We will just stick with that.
Yeah. So 100% malted rye. Have you explored, now that you have before we taste this one, you have 100% malted rye, have you explored maybe doing 100% malted wheat just for fun, just to do it? Because there's 100%, obviously 100% single malt. I wonder would that even be good?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll turn this still on.
I have not thought about that.
I wonder if that would even. I've seen the other one that's come out that has started to take a little bit of a hold in niche parts of the market is 100% malted oat.
Okay.
I haven't tried many. I've tried one that was a new make and it was interesting, but I haven't had any that's been aged that long. But my point is aside from a single malt, whether it be Scotch or American single malt, you don't often see 100% of something. Even 100% corn is
it's corn whiskey.
It's corn whiskey, and it's usually a moonshine or a young moonshine.
Right.
But yeah. So tell me about the rye.
Well, what should I tell about it?
Right, it's 100% malted rye. That's it.
It's a little more difficult to produce it than regular whiskey.
I heard rye is kind of a pain in the butt.
For somebody who doesn't know how to do it.
Okay, all right. Throwing shade at the...
But somebody asked at some point, how many times did you have to dump something because it wasn't good in 10 years? 0, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
So you know what you're doing.
I mean, you may say that.
Ever be he humble.
Yeah.
I forget who I was talking to. I think, have you ever heard of Liberty Pole Spirits out in Pennsylvania?
I heard about them, but I don't know much about them.
So Jim Huff, he's making some awesome stuff. Liberty Pole Spirits, they're in Washington, Pennsylvania. It's the same location where Monongahela Rye came from, and that's what sparked the whiskey rebellion back in the 1790s under Washington. And so they do a lot of heirloom grains and really focus on like, oh, this is the original rye from that period of time. But they also do a lot of peated bourbons and ryes, and
Okay.
they're interesting. I like them. But he had a story when I actually interviewed him, and he told me about he accidentally distilled molded corn. It had molded, and he didn't know it. And then they tasted it off the still, and it was like, wow, what happened? And then they realized that the mash had mold in it, and from the source. And they were like, well, let's put it in a barrel. Maybe it'll fix it. It didn't.
No.
He has a bottle on his shelf that never went to market. He just has it just as it just got real funky.
Yeah.
So you've never had any happy accidents.
Yeah, that's something that my colleague at the German company said. Since 2002, I organized workshops
Sure.
for people who were contemplating starting a distillery.
Sure.
And of course, he had he was representing, the still manufacturing, and he said that you have to be careful with the ingredients because SHIT in, SHIT out.
That's true.
I didn't want to say the word, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or what he meant. But yeah, no, it has to be good raw material. I mean, not infected, not spoiled with any possible way.
Well, and that kind of proves your theory is that, if you don't have a good new make, putting it in a barrel is not going to fix it, because that barrel accentuates so much of what's going on in that whiskey. If you have a crap new make that doesn't taste good,
Yeah, you will keep the bad
you're right.
of flavor.
It'll be bad with extra wood.
Yeah.
No, well, this rye is fantastic. Again, I don't want to overemphasize it, but 100% malted rye is rare. I can't think of anyone else who's doing it at scale, and this is one of your cores that you do all the time.
Well, not all the time.
Well,
but I would say maybe I want to put a percentage, maybe 15%.
That's still
of
pretty
the
high.
products.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's awesome. Was this just an inspiration that you just wanted to do 100% malted rye, or was there someone on the market that you thought, oh, that tastes good, I want to try it?
Just wanted to try it.
Just wanted to try it.
Yeah.
How does that process work for you? Do you do an R&D phase where you do it at a smaller scale and see if it works, and then you're like, you know what, maybe this does work? And then when you do that, does the ingredient and the process scale up properly, or do you have to change some things as you get bigger?
It pretty much would scale up.
Okay.
On that small R&D still, what you can see downstairs.
Yeah.
We can do test runs. For grain-based, we really don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, if you're following the rules, following the science, it's not going to go bad. Sure, we can run a small batch on the vodka still,
Sure.
which is 750 liter only.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a quarter of the big still. But no, I mean, so far I was not punished with anything like that. So
Fair enough. Is there anything that you've done that has not worked out from the R&D that you thought would be kind of fun to do, and it just was like, nah?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I tested and tasted a lot of things, especially fruits at the beginning. but vodka also on the tiny still. So yeah, everything came out okay, and you can scale it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, same kind of engineering.
Oh, sure.
For the small as the large.
What's been the craziest thing you've tried? I feel like if I was in your shoes, I would just put random things in the still to try to make it taste different. If I had the time and money.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. But
that's why you're still in business.
There were some crazy things, you know. I mean, somebody placed an order from Africa for flavored vodka, but flavored but distilled.
Okay.
Okay, so we made the vodka and then redistilled it with their specific ingredients. You know, that was some of them specific to their country back there.
Okay.
Herbs, you know.
Like herbs and spices, and
yeah,
it's almost like a gin then.
Yeah, but no juniper.
Right.
Yeah. So, or only one of. We did 3 different ones for them. None of them with juniper. So they each had one kind of herb, you know. But yeah, it didn't go very far. I mean, it was sold. They shipped it to Africa, and then
yeah,
I don't know. But, I mean, it's not a product for us.
I want to get your reaction. This just made me think of this, and I want to get your reaction to this. I've interviewed this distillery once, and I want to go back. When I first started the show, I was doing audio only, and then we started to up the production value, and we got cameras, and we make it look pretty. And I want to go back because this distillery is an old 1930s movie theater in Delaware, and it's called Painted Stave. And Michael Rasmussen there, he's the owner and distiller, and he does awesome stuff. He makes some great product. But on a dare, he made a scrapple flavored vodka. Scrapple is a northeastern American breakfast meat. It's what Spam is, right? Mm-hmm. So think Spam, but cornmeal and onion and garlic. It's like a seasoned Spam.
Yeah.
It's not very appetizing looking, but it's very tasty, very savory, and it's just a good breakfast meat. Just like a meatloaf of spices. And on a dare, someone asked him, you should make a scrapple flavored vodka. So he went to the store and bought a bunch of scrapple, 40 pounds of it, and put it in the still.
Yeah.
And distilled it with the actual meat. And he made it. And it actually is not bad. It makes a pretty darn good Bloody Mary because it's a savory vodka. Anyway, so it's not vegan.
Yeah. Somebody also asked to experiment with barrel-aged vodka.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those.
But then it's clear, so it's not colored.
Right.
So
I've seen a couple of vodkas that do have a little bit of like a tint, just a little yellow to it. And I've seen a lot of people use that as it's like a light American whiskey, but it's not whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's corn vodka, it could technically be whiskey.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What is your vodka 100% corn?
Some of it, but I make vodka from grapevine also.
Oh,
vine.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever had that before.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you put it next to each other, corn and grape should taste the same.
Well, that's what vodka should be.
Unless you do something wrong.
You're right. Then there's some people that do something wrong.
Hey y'all, Allan Cogan here with Crafted Conversations. If you want to support the show and the mission of sharing the stories of craft, head over to buymeacoffee.com/craftedconvos. I'd really appreciate throwing a couple bucks my way to help me pay for travel, the equipment that I use, the time that I spend editing, all the software that I use. I really appreciate any support you can give me. And if you can't afford a couple bucks, at least give me some feedback or go over to your YouTube and subscribe or follow us on Spotify. Anything helps to make sure that we share the story of craft and give these small business owners a little limelight and get them out on a platform that really showcases what they're doing. I can't do this without you guys or your support, so I would really appreciate you pitching in and helping out. So I'll see you out there, and I really appreciate it. Cheers.
Well, very cool. What should we try next? I know we have the single malt.
Well, you said that you were interested in single malt very much.
I love single malt because I'm a Scotch guy. My first foray into the whiskey kingdom was Scotch. Grant and I would drink Johnny Walker Red in college, and I'm glad we don't do that anymore because that's not good. Johnny Walker makes good stuff, just not the red label.
Well, that's a different thing. It's not single malt.
Well, no, and that's what I was saying is that malted barley flavor profile in Scotch is what I really gravitate towards. And when the American single malt category really took off and there was more out there, it made me go, oh, this is something different and something that matches what I want from Scotch, but I get it in the American climate.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see this one. Just lift up.
Oh, I see. I'm going to pour, rinse out. Grant, have you tried that? Isn't that good? It's a different bourbon than I've ever tried. I'm not the biggest bourbon guy. I like bourbon. I know you're a bourbon guy, but that's a malted barley forward bourbon. Yeah, see? After we're done with this, he's going to let me try this gin and he's going to convert me again. Yeah, oh yeah.
9 years old.
Oh, this is your 9-year-old single malt.
9 years old,
oh.
Yeah. 100 proof, bottled in bond. I can show you the barrel where it's coming from.
Is most of what you do single barrel?
I would say maybe 45% and then 35% bourbon, and the rest would be rum and some other things.
Okay. Do you do any blending for any of your product?
Not really. No. I mean, for the triple cask, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I know there's a lot of people who do. They distill with the intention of blending.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. It's just different. Oh my God! Don't laugh at me. That's so good. I'm excited because
why is it good?
Why is it good? Well, because it has a deep, rich, fruited espresso flavor to it that really lets the malted barley flavor just shines in that. And it's a 9-year-old, so it has a little less harshness to it because that barrel does some work to it. And that's why I'm so excited for the American single malt category to become older. It's been around for a while, but now it's a legally recognized thing.
Yeah.
Which means there's going to be more people doing it.
But it's still not listed, on the TTB.
Not yet, yeah. They're working through the government has it's the government.
It's been 4 years since they started working on it. I mean, it takes a long time to figure it out, right?
Well, there's one distillery, what's it called? Nantucket. They're in Maine, and they have the oldest American single malt on the market. It's 25 years old. And before that, they also had the oldest, and it was 18.
On the island, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've been there.
Yeah. And they have an interesting climate because a 25-year-old American single malt out there is a little different than having a single malt in California or Texas.
Right. By the way, they are using the same German still like this. I didn't do it, but
it's the same kind of equipment.
Same company.
Yeah. So I think the older an American single malt gets, I've had a lot of 4 and 5-year-old American single malts, and they're good, but they still have that pine young flavor to them. 8 years plus is where I find it really starts to make it. Oh, it's good. There's something happening here. So that's why I love this. I'm excited. I'm sorry. I love this. I'm
Okay.
a whiskey nerd.
Oh,
I'm sorry that your product is good.
I agree with you.
Take the compliment. Do you think that you're going to make more of this now that the market is kind of gravitating towards, like, American single malt has kind of a boom going on right now. Bourbon's been king.
A boom is going now.
Yeah, the economy is the market of whiskey is starting to point a little bit towards American single malt.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but bourbon is still.
Well, it always will be.
Yeah.
It'll always be the big king. And it's frustrating in some regard because I've said this to a few distillers who I've talked to, and they've all agreed that, you know, American whiskey was built on rye and rum. Colonial rum was what built this country in the early days. And then you have rye that really, because that's what was grown in the eastern United States in the 13 colonies, is you had a lot of rye as cover crop. Bourbon didn't come onto the scene until the 1790s with Elijah Craig, and that didn't really translate into bourbon until the 1830s, and it wasn't actually federally recognized until 1935. So, but for whatever reason, bourbon is number one. And there's been some ryes and some rums that have started to come back and will start to, like, hey, remember us? We're like, really, we're good too. But then American single malt came out and, like, oh, this is great. And I'm hoping that Americans who are interested in having these spirits get past the idea of it being a Scotch copy, because I think that's a marketing issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking, you know, but the thing is, you know, that when you go to McDonald's here or McDonald's in Europe, it's the same thing.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So if, sure, you cannot call it Scotch, but when you say American single malt is the same idea as Scotch, because that is single malt also.
100% malt.
Okay, so okay, yeah, we can develop new ways to create whiskey in one distillery, which the single refers to,
Right.
and from malt, that is malt refers to,
Right.
right? Single malt means made in one distillery, as opposed to blended.
Yeah.
Right. So single malt is, in my mind, is a very broad category because you know, if you're looking at blended whiskey, the Johnny Red, Johnny Blue, Johnny Green, you know, the Johnny Blue this year has to be the same as Johnny Blue last year and the previous and next year and so forth. Right. Single malt whiskey is different. Even within a distillery or within a batch, you have differences, barrel by barrel.
Sure.
Depending on the barrel wood.
Sure.
Okay, it is easy to agree with that because the density of the wood is very important in the flavor. Okay, the denser the wood, more flavor you get.
Right.
Okay, so. That was one of the challenges for me. You remember of the 75% rule. Okay, so that's the most important thing. Do whatever you can with the wood to improve the final result.
Right.
Okay. Now the density of the wood is one of those things. We didn't talk about it earlier, but. No. But the fact is that if we, first of all, an oak tree is harvested usually when it's 100 years old, right? if you cut the trunk, you see the ear rings, and if you see 3 to 5, 4 or 5 ear rings within 1 centimeter, then it's already good for barrel wood.
Sure.
Okay. Now we get normally 6 to 9 ear rings within 1 centimeter. So denser. We get denser wood. I mean, we talked about the shape inside, outside, and inside.
Yep.
We didn't talk about the density. Now we are.
Right.
Okay. Okay. But the challenge is this, that you go to Missouri, to big cooperage, who is making hundreds, maybe thousands of barrels a day.
Yeah.
Can you ask them that, oh, could you please join me and let's go to the forest and select the densest possible tree? I think they would be laughing their whatever out, I mean, no way.
No.
But we do that.
Of course.
See, I go with the cooper, not always, but I've seen how is he doing it. Because I asked, I need dense, okay? And maybe not 100 years old, but 150 years old.
Right.
Trees. Sometimes I down there I have 200 years old. Okay, a couple of barrels. I do pay a lot of money for that, but 13 rings in 1 centimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can select the tree.
Okay.
You know why? Because the region is a special region. Okay, Tokaj. You heard about Tokaj, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a wine region, very famous wine from there, and a lot of oak. And what happens, if you harvest a tree from a part of the place that has good soil,
Sure.
you skip it.
Mm.
Why? Because if the soil is good, the tree will grow fast.
Oh, I see.
If it grows fast,
It's denser.
then the density is not as good.
Oh.
Less ear rings in 1 centimeter. So you're looking for a place that has a poor soil, and it happens to be a volcanic region.
Yeah.
Some places are covered with lava for millions of years ago. I don't know when exactly.
Sure.
Some didn't. Different soil here, different soil 100 yards from here.
Sure.
Okay? Now, there has to be somebody who knows that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Now I'm telling the secret to somebody, but I know that from Missouri, nobody will go out and select a tree that is 200 years old or 150
Of course.
or whatever.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's one of the things that I love about these conversations is the appreciation of what goes into the glass. We just got so granular down to the soil of what matters for what makes the dense of the tree, and the tree makes the barrel, and the barrel imparts the flavors in the whiskey.
Right.
And then 9 years later, you have this.
Yeah.
I love that because
You can see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
So you can see like a Y. Okay, here is the product. Many people say grain to bottle, right? Mm-hmm. I say grain to bottle and tree to bottle.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Yes.
that is unique. Who else can say that?
You're
Have
right.
you heard that before?
No, treat a bottle. No,
That doesn't make sense.
no. But
It doesn't make sense.
no, it does. It does.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, it does make sense. No, but that's what I'm curious about, because we had this conversation with you not putting too much weight into the grain. But I'm curious how much maybe there's to do with the grain quality when it comes to soil too, because there's acidity that makes rye different tasting and flavor profiles. Probably comes through more in a younger whiskey, but Do you put much weight in that at all, or is it's all the wood? 75% of the wood is what you're focused on.
No.
Okay. I think that's
I'm
awesome.
honest. No.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I've heard several different takes on that. That's why I ask you, because this industry is all about a bunch of other peripheral industries.
Yeah. You see, and I don't regret, okay, that I don't pay attention to that, because by the time you put it in the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
and then wait 5 years, 10 years, nothing will show up like that, or at least I don't know who can taste it, who can sense the difference. Okay, there could be some people who have very sophisticated palate. Maybe those people who are creating the Johnny Blue, every year. Maybe they have that, but
I tend to agree with you that there's a lot. I think a lot of it is marketing, and I think that's okay. I think the idea of locality and you're a craft small business and you're sourcing from down the road at your farm and getting that cool that heirloom corn. I think as long as you're distilling and fermenting and doing the thing properly, and you make a good product, I think that grain matters to be quality grain. Good for you. But I think when you start saying that, this is an heirloom corn and that's why it tastes good, you're not giving enough credit to the barrel.
Yeah.
And your process.
Right. Yeah, and it's a good thing to say. I mean, in some places could be interesting that, it was made in my backyard. Or grown in my backyard.
Sure.
And really? All right, let's taste it. Okay, and if we will have a chance to check the gin.
Yeah, we will.
There's something in it that was grown in my backyard.
Really?
Yeah. So try to copy it.
Okay. Well, and I think there's an element of the market that appreciates that. If you are a farm distillery, or if you are a small business who is sourcing locally, people appreciate that you probably source a lot of your grain from Northern California, rather than just buying all the stuff from a Canadian rye producer, a mass-produced whatever. Does the grain really matter down when it comes down to a 10-year-old whatever? Probably not, but at least you're giving back to the economy in your backyard.
Yeah.
People appreciate that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. If that's the case, then it makes sense.
Right. And that's why I think the marketing is powerful, of hey, this is locally grown. Okay, cool. I'm going to gravitate towards a California locally grown product more so than a mass-produced nonsense. Okay.
So you like the...
I love the single malt.
Virgin oak.
I do, and I know
oak.
The next one is the Tokai.
Okay. The next one is called triple cask single malt whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It says 777, but... Okay, so what we do here, we age the whiskey, the same juice, same batch, in 3 different barrels. Okay, 7 years. This is 9 years old. You have to believe me. It's just an old label.
Okay.
And one barrel is the new oak, what you just tasted.
Right.
Okay. Another barrel is an ex Bordeaux wine barrel.
Oh, okay.
Red wine barrel. And the third one is ex-Tokai wine barrel.
Which is a Japanese dessert wine.
No, it's a Hungarian dessert wine.
I'm sorry, you're right. What's the Japanese one that I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
No, ignore me. You're Hungarian. You're allowed to say it. Slap me.
Okay. Tokai wine is very, very special. Okay. Not everything that has the word Tokai on it is the real thing. But the Tokai sweet wine was the first sweet wine in the world started out in the 1200s.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, and then the process is unique. In that region, in the same what we talked about, that volcanic region, the soil is different, climate is a little bit different, and if there's rain at the second part of August, then botrytis, which is a fungus, will attack the grape berries, okay, and sucks out some water. Now, at harvest time, end of October, November, they collect these berries,
Sure.
put it in a big tub. Some juice will be released by its own weight.
Okay.
That juice is very expensive, ferments only to 5-6%, and costs about $1,000 or more a half liter. Okay?
Goodness.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Called Tokai Essentia.
Okay.
Okay? Now, that is how it starts. Okay, then they take the berries, the remaining berries, by the buckets, 3, 4, 5, or 6 bucket,
Okay.
okay, and they soak it for 135 liter of white wine. In that region, only white wine can be produced.
Oh, okay.
3 different white wines, and then they soak it 3 days, and then they press it. Okay, that wine is still sweet, not so expensive, between $50 and $100 per bottle. Okay, half liter, and it is available in the United States also. And that's the wine that used to be in those dark barrels, what you will see downstairs. Those used to contain Tokai Asu, ACZU, Tokai Asu, ACZU. That's the wine.
Okay.
Okay, it's a sweet wine. Why did I select that? Because I was experimenting with sherry cask finished and some others. Sherry or Sauternes, from France. Went to Spain, went to France, checked them out, and then I thought, well, yeah, these are very nice, but I know something that is nicer. That's the Tokai Asu wine. Okay, so that's how I arrived to that. So I started purchasing the ex-Tokai wine barrel. So it makes a difference what was in it.
Sure.
It has to be the Asu wine.
Sure.
Okay, so that's what. So we age it together. Separately, individually, and then when I bottle it, then I blend it.
Is the blend like equal parts? How do you?
That's my secret.
Sorry.
Okay, you can ask.
Proprietary.
Okay, so, and it is a registered trademark, Tokai Cask Single Malt Whiskey.
Okay.
It's registered, and yeah. So let's taste it.
Yeah, please. Do you want to have some or?
Yeah, I'll taste it too.
All right, let me rinse out my glass. I want to.
I hope it's not spoiled.
It won't be. I don't know why. I'm trying to think of the Japanese cask that I was thinking of. Because you're right, Tokai is Hungarian. I'm trying to think of what I was thinking of. But there's a long row, which is made at Springbank in Campbelltown. Back in 2002, they had a Tokai cask, long row. Mm-hmm. They have not made it again. And I went to a whiskey bar in Washington, D.C., and they had one. And it was like $50 for an ounce just to try it. And I was like, well, I want to try it. It's cheaper than the bottle. And I tried that, and it was so different and so good. Yeah. I thought, oh wow, Tokai. Why aren't more people doing that? It's probably because it's expensive.
What was it, Japanese? Or
no.
Hungarian?
It was Hungarian.
Hungarian.
Yeah. Anyway, well, shall we?
Yeah.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Thank you. Oh. I love that. You make good stuff. I might come back.
Okay, yeah, please do.
That's very interesting. And you said this is 9 years too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have bottles of them individually? Because I get a lot of, I can tell this is Tokai. This is very, very, I can have that wine flavors on that nose.
Of course, I have three products, that is related to Tokai casks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the triple cask, double cask, and single cask. Double cask would be same minus Bordeaux wine.
Okay.
And the single cask is only Tokai cask.
Only Tokai.
So that's the three versions of the single malts related to Tokai cask.
Gotcha. I love that. That's so fun. It's fun. You're gonna try this and you're gonna love it. Well, Lewis, this has been awesome. I appreciate your hospitality and sharing some of these awesome products that you have. I know you have more. If we had all of them on the table right now, we'd probably fall over.
Well, I'm sorry, they have to be 100 proof.
Oh, no, that's a good thing. You gave your theory, 75-25 theory. My theory is that alcohol is a vehicle for flavor.
True.
The higher alcohol content, the more flavor you get.
That's true.
And do you have any cask strength things that you've released, or barrel strength?
No, I did not release to the outside.
Sure.
But I can give you some taster from here.
Okay. All right.
When you go downstairs.
Deal. Yeah.
You will be shocked.
Well, I honestly, I wish more people would do barrel strength, but the general consumer prefers to have a 45%.
Yeah.
As far as what people have researched.
50. So.
Yeah, bottle and bond is one of the things that it means something, but it also is a marketing term. When the consumer sees bottled and bond, they think. I mean, it kind of harkens back to when the federal government used to have a key to your warehouse, and it had the stamp of approval. Now they don't care.
But they do. They do care because, they never came out here, but...
Well, right.
But every month by the 15th, I have to file 3 reports.
Let them know your volume and what you have.
What ingredients, okay. What did you make?
Sure.
At what proof? What kind of barrel did you use? How much grain? All those things. They have it.
Yeah.
Every month.
Okay.
So they don't have to come out.
That's right.
And of course, there's no reason to lie or cheat, because, for small distilleries like this, the tax is not an issue.
Right.
A few years ago, they lowered down from $13.50 to $2.70.
Sure.
Per gallon, proof gallon.
Right. Well, I know the economy of craft distilling and craft brewing has been a little bit of a roller coaster, and I'm glad that there are people like you out here who are still making awesome things and innovating and trying different things. There's been a lot that have they've gone out of business, they've gotten too big for their britches, they try to distribute too far.
It's difficult, It's difficult to grow.
Yes, very difficult.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've come across in a lot of the craft markets is that people need to own their backyard and really embrace your local community. Like you said earlier, you have a lot of people who come here for tours, and they're usually from LA or at least this area.
Yeah.
And don't worry about selling to every state. Like you're not. It
would be nice, but.
Well, yeah, it would be great to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
But that's hard because then that also means you're upping production. You're probably hiring more people to be able to do it. And then at what point do you lose the craft when you scale up? It's tough. Balancing act.
Yeah. You're gonna have to limit yourself. In the market. You can't, because. If you developed your reputation, at let's say 5, 6, 7 years old products,
sure,
you run out of it. Then what do you do?
Right.
You wait another 3 years to catch up, or you know what I mean?
And you need the capital to do it.
Yeah, so it's not easy. And then consider the waves in the market, ups and downs. You have to take some risks. What to make, what not to make.
Well, on top of that, you're navigating a lot of laws that are separate from. I don't know how LA is in California, but I'm from Wisconsin, and you can buy Everclear at a Walmart. I live in North Carolina now, and it's a controlled state, and it's very, very different. I can't buy a liquor on a Sunday. Opening a distillery across the country is so different.
Yeah.
By state, by county.
It is.
And a lot of times, I've encountered people who work with distillers guilds who lobby their legislator, and the legislator themselves don't realize that there's this old law on the book that doesn't do anything, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't realize that 1830s pre-prohibition law existed. Well, our bad. We'll take that away." But it takes that type of innovation and that community and camaraderie to kind of come together and say, "Hey, this law is kind of stupid. Why can't I sell this to someone here, or make this, or sell it to another state?"
Yeah,
and it's tough. And I'm sure I've talked to so many people about, had they known all of the barriers, they probably would have never started. But because they did, they powered through. And I'm glad they have, because it's made the market more versatile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course, there is room for getting rid of regulations.
Yeah. Amen to that. That's a good ending point. Yes. And regulations. No, I really do. I do appreciate all the things that you do. You're making some awesome product. I can tell you care about it. And that's why I do this show, is because of people like you who make cool things and are passionate about it. So keep it up.
Well, Allan, thank you very much for stopping by and spending some time here, and definitely come back again.
I will. I promise. Grant and I will make a trip. We will leave the cameras at home, and we'll just we won't bother you with that, but we'll bother you for whiskey.
Whenever you are in the neighborhood, just stop by.
Appreciate it. Lewis, cheers. Thank you so much for your camaraderie.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grant.
If you enjoyed this episode, I'd really appreciate a follow and share on social media, subscribe to our YouTube, and be sure to give us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Everything you see and hear is out of pocket for us, including travel. If you support our mission of showcasing the amazing stories behind these small businesses, do me a favor and head over to buymeacoffee.com/craftedconvos. Buy Me a Coffee is an awesome way to help creators like me with simple one-time donations or a monthly contribution. Every dime goes into giving these breweries, distilleries, and more some much-deserved limelight. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. Cheers!
A special thank you to our supporters, The Bar Book, Distillery Products, and Virtue Feed and Grain. To learn more, please visit www.craftedconvos.com.